Hello guys, Zettia here with another World of Warships ship spotlight brought to you by TheMittaniTV. I have to say, the Königsberg was one of the best ships I had been in a long time, but I obviously had not yet tried the Nürnberg. The Nürnberg has a unique history. We're going to take a look at that, as well as give you some tips and tricks when using it in game. The Nürnberg and her sister ship were commissioned in 1935 as part of Germany's effort to rebuild their navy. A light cruiser, she would find herself put into many different roles. With the outbreak of World War II, the Nürnberg was assigned to the blockade force that was to prevent Polish destroyers and subs from escaping. Despite their best effort, many of the Polish ships escaped to join the British and continue on the war effort. After the failed blockade, the Nürnberg went on to escort destroyers returning from mine-laying missions. During one of these missions, the crew spotted two torpedoes heading straight at them. They took evasive action, but still managed to get hit in the bow. As they slowed to inspect the damage, two more torpedoes were spotted. The ship accelerated. Both torpedoes missed, but detonated in the wake, causing minor damage. After this engagement, the Nürnberg really did not play a huge part in the war. Once repaired, she would be used largely as a training vessel. The German Navy saw it as a great ship to train U-boat crews on. The war was revving up in the Atlantic, and Germany saw the U-boat as the key to victory. As the war came to an end, the Nürnberg, barely in use due to Germany's severe shortage of fuel oil, was eventually turned over to the Soviet Union as a war prize. The Soviets used it for another 10 years, both actively as a flagship as well as a training vessel. Although used by two navies, the Nürnberg is known for the longest-serving German-built World War II ship. Alright guys, let's dive into the gameplay. As I said, the Königsberg is a great ship, but the Nürnberg is better, and there are a number of improvements. The first thing I noticed is the turret traverse time is greatly improved. Second is the rate of fire. This ship feels like it's got machine gun 155mm cannons. And last but not least, the range. If your captain has the skills, advanced fire training, you will definitely notice an increased range. Now, this ship has torps that can reach out 6K, but you really don't want to use them unless you're in a tight spot. There are far better tactics. Every ship has strengths and weaknesses. The Nürnberg has fairly light armor, so it's important to use your range and rate of fire to gain the maximum points per battle. The one thing that I really like about this ship is that 2/3 of the firepower is rear-facing. This will allow you to employ tactics that will basically keep you alive longer. It allows you to get in range, turn, then run and gun. Using this tactic will present you as a very small target. You can hit the enemy with as much damage as you can and be able to keep them at range, making sure that you are a lot harder to hit. There are a few major downsides to this ship, one being the AA. It's marginal. About the only benefit over the Königsberg is that you now get a fighter. The second was the rudder shift time. It's not terrible, but not nearly as good as other ships in this tier. To wrap things up, all I have to say is this ship is simply the best. Now, I know that there are probably a ton of Cleveland captains out there that disagree with me, and they will probably give me thumbs down for this, but I think it's actually better than the Cleveland. I do have to say, I sold my Cleveland, and I am keeping this in my port. Well guys, thanks again for checking out this edition of Ship Spotlight. As always, don't forget to check out TheMittani.com for the latest in gaming, news, articles, and entertainment. Thanks again, enjoy the grind, and have a great day.